the budget in the morning, so she's going to skip out on this meeting, but she will review it and let us know if she's got any questions. Okay. So, everybody has their budget package, right? Yeah. Okay. I figured we could start by the city, going back kind of whatever we discussed. I did pass out packets tonight that kind of have like breakdowns of problem areas. And I attached reports with notes on what some of the charges were for certain things. So I figured we should start and go down. I know that there was a question about the city council budget. But if you look up there, for 2 meetings a month for 12 months times 6 of you guys, we still have plenty of cushion in there, so that should be fine until the end of the year. I don't see this being going for the next 4 months. Workers' comp, we discussed, and now we're way over on that. Tracy is still working on her spreadsheet. We're going to have to adjust that for this year, and hopefully the amounts for next year are going to be lower. Let's see. Okay, down here we have the salary and wages. There's not a budget for it, but it shows money. If you look at the next page, it will look like this. I did go back and open up and look at them, and it's all tied to Susan's sick, vacation, and workers' comp. For some reason, those things are set up with that salary and wages code instead of a normal code, so I will make sure that that does not happen again. She's the only person that I found with it set up like that.
Is that the workers' comp?
No, this is for the complication and sick. For some reason, those things that are set up on our profile are set up under salary and wages instead of office manager code.
Could you use that? Yes, ma'am. Okay. And Phil's wasn't, right?
Do what?
Phil's very on job too.
In his, I believe was set up correctly because this charge right here is all, every bit of it was tied to Susan's case. So he, I believe, was set up correctly. So I guess the next thing I have was in advertising, which I thought I had come out for that. The advertising is only on, and that is because I did confirm that that is because of the banners to go on the polls. They were like $1,400. And then there was some advertising for positions that came out of that code as well. So please go back to Littleton, Mountain Echo.
Did we get money from the chamber for those banners?
Yeah,
they paid half. Okay. Did we actually get the money though?
I'll check that.
You want to double check. But I mean, if we're over $1,400, that was based off of the last meeting.
If he has double that.
Animal surrender, I did check that. That was something in Cattle Heart back in like February. So we'll have to budget for that one.
Did we talk on that? Because we were going to start closing fees.
Yeah.
On it, and then we were supposed to go Bill or somebody was going to call or something. Money going to miss those.
It was when Bill was still here, but they said that we had to start paying for the job on the dogs over there.
That's right, because we were trying to figure out how it was going to, we were trying to figure out budget for animal holding.
So I are starting city.
No, for us to go. And so we're passing that cost. Whoever
Well, we'll need some budget to fix that.
So it's $25.
Every time?
It was just $25 fee, yes, and then what we only one.
Okay, so that was the question, how big the problem is.
That's what we ran into last time, we were like $4 a year. Yeah.
Do we really want to for that, or do we just put in everything?
Yeah.
Control supplies. Yeah, those two lines put together.
It, or you can just do the manual control.
Yeah. Just like-
Just manual control. Yeah. All right, so the next big one that I know everybody was questioning was computer support services. And as of this morning, I checked, and it is a little over 17,000 after the August bill. But I did include the next page here. Here's a list of everything that makes that charge. And that 379 was a credit, that's what, I mean, it was a credit that we had gotten, so that's why it was around that side. I personally have questions about, I guess, was it telecom trucks that we were discussing, looking into?
So the telecom looks like a monthly,
Yes.
monthly contact fee.
Yeah, we get like 2 or 3 bills a month, or I guess it looks like 1 or 2. But we were discussing about possible overcharging or
Yeah,
charging for
right.
things,
I'm not seeing anything that's.
jumps out too much. I didn't, that.
Yeah, what? I had two.
Well, you notice there's not one in February, and then there's another one in March.
Okay.
Yes,
And then
so
there's a
we-
credit for that.
So there's nothing to be said in that
And again, now in June.
yes, I believe there was.
So telecom, is who is over computers, or, so they handle all the software, installing, it's kind of like one VIP service.
Probably licensing fees as well for all the software that you've got online.
But there's.
And CSA, is the software that we're actually using?
Yes,
I don't
CSA for
have,
software.
I could bring. Sorry. Was, I want to say there's 4 charges a month. that we pay.
There was several.
But it has to do with different departments.
Yes, and, I want to say the 1380 is just the normal amount, and the others just kind of range based on services needed, like, there was one that just came through for setting my network up to where Jessica and Susan could access and record on the file, so.
And what the dollar on the website?
That is, you just the city website.
It's $100 monthly fee. Which I noticed that the first 4 months didn't have a charge, but it looks like they caught up in May.
Have we looked around for any different quotes to see if we can find something that's more mainstream or affordable for like our computer software services, like anything?
So the dominators are city website, which we tend to need a lot of.
She's talking about telecom.
Oh, telecom, okay.
Telecom.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a bad price. It's not.
I don't know about it, so I apologize now if we can.
No, the only stupid question is the one we don't have. Now, that's a decent rate for the services that they're providing. they had the licenses set up for everybody. Some people had an exchange, like email only, and then there was an exchange, something else, the way Microsoft does their licenses. But we didn't have the full Microsoft Office suite for everybody in the office. So they didn't have Word, they didn't have PDF, they didn't have Excel, they didn't have all these huge things. They basically had Office. And it was cheaper by $2.61, I believe, per person to go ahead and switch it to the full suite. So I went ahead and did that, but everybody that was on that list, I gave everybody access, not just the office person. Just to make it an easier feed across the board. But it should not be going up very much. Because like I said, it's actually a reduction for whole half.
So, next, I've got, we were going to credit card charges, and we were discussing why it was negative. I did find it, and it said it was, credit for an overpayment from the December 4th, 2025 bill. So, I'm guessing she's sticking it in as a negative number to credit. That's why it's showing that. I did not pull the bill to see what it was for. Okay, insurance, building and land. That I have at $6.80 a month. If you look at what was received for $512, that's what we should have budgeted. And so we need to try and correct the budget for that amount. No.
It's not another building.
I've only done two payments, so I don't have the new records yet. But, no, this is specific to like the city hall,
I just looked at insurance on other.
yeah, the fire department are paying,
So it's like,
fire department has their own, I believe streets has their own.
Alright, so we need to put in a resolution this year for line item insurance plan.
Yes. I know we can discuss that, well, I did verify that this is through AML, so, I don't know what other options are out there, but that means we have to go into
They were using AML, and they did off the apps. We went to Mountain Hall to.
Just for health insurance.
And we had better.
that might be something to check into too.
Yeah, we ended up.
These, I had Susan print this up for me last week. This is all of the buildings and the insurance payments. Now,
Yes.
they are not listed as what bills are, but it does give us that information.
A little bit more. So everything from city to police will come out of general. Oh, well, not the street,
Yeah.
but, city fire, the parks, and the police will all be out of the general fund.
Travis was not in the room to that, because we got to put up a resolution to increase the insurance premium and monthly. Our projected is $8,145 for the year, while we budgeted $30,000.
So we want to say the exact number or just say 500? Just
This
as
is
a sufficient.
a safety net.
Then we go highway
came up with 35.
I'm not sure. I couldn't find the name of
I think it is, everything probably.
Well, you've got what? Protecting property, protecting insurance company.
Seems like a lot of money.
I was just thinking that same thing. Keep your properties.
Let's see, we got City Hall, meeting place, we have 4 buildings at Public Works alone. We got damage user restrooms, I'm sure are part of that. Right, those would be part of building insurance. Then 2 buildings at, yeah, we got stuff.
20 of them were trying to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Damage users, what 5 buildings would that be? Unless we carry insurance on the playground, insurance on the archery field, insurance on the gazebo bathroom.
And the shed that we can't get in because the floor is running. That too.
Well, since it still falls down on somebody, we're still gonna pay. Some idiot breaks in there overnight and it collapses. Insurance company. I'm with you. When I watched Liar Liar as a kid, and I learned quickly that if you fall through your skylight and lands on a knife, you're getting sued.
So the next thing I have is going to be a lease filing. I looked that up, and the only note that was on the receipt was that it was the Marion County Clerk for Road 211 Alfred.
Yeah, that's the thing we put on the house with the tree there.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever happened? It's still there. Sorry,
Okay. Alright, so next one is the pump off.
What is the proposal?
I'm not really sure. I know it's from Dick Oil, Susan Grimsby bill, and there's pump off fees that are charged on the bill, and she splits it amongst all the departments use gas. So police, the fire departments, when I went back and looked, I couldn't find on the city side, I'm assuming it's for the city vehicle, but, I couldn't find where prior to July that it had started, so that would have been a mean thing. But the claim came over with pump off fees for city general, like for the city.
Is that, I mean, good thing that you're raising. I'm gonna probably not get that show on the board, but it could be a delivery fee if she's.
I think it's a delivery
She's
fee.
been buying it. And
Right.
all the.
I think it's a delivery fee for that remote, the remote gas.
Okay. Well, she's dividing that between all the departments.
So,
Deliver gas, and then they charge us the offload gas from their truck. I'm sure, yeah.
so that
We
was
have a
my,
tank in the city where everybody else.
yes.
They don't go and buy it.
They can go and buy it at other places, but if they need to, but there is a location here that has, I believe, gas and you can go.
Are we fine with that being split like that, or should it all be just,
Well, it goes to the departments that are using them.
yes?
I think it's a fair trade.
Okay.
Because everyone's using it. Police, water, sewer.
Yes.
Did you verify that that's like expensive?
That is for the, water, the sales tax, yes, sir. That will move us to the reimbursement, which I did print that off. That will be attached, it'll look like that. So I went on 3 reimbursements, so the reason why it's 6,000 specific to one, and when I opened it up and looked at it, all it said was money not supposed to be paid to the city 2025. So I don't know if money was deposited maybe wrong.
Sounds like it went to the wrong account.
Yes. So, instead of 48 or something, it was just reversing out. And then there was 2 for Stallman. One was travel to Bayville for a settlement hearing, and one was a mileage reimbursement to Little Rock for Bayville for the sale. So that's what we have reimbursement balance. Yes.
So this $6,225 debit out of the Shoals Municipal Court Fund.
Yes. I'm taking that, yes. No, that would be paid to be supported.
So where was it paid out of then?
I don't know, I can double check that. I was just trying to go through and see what,
Apparently,
yeah. I guess it's.
So technically it's a wash.
Yeah, it's a wash, it's just, I mean, it's just, I don't know if anybody is tracking that. But there shouldn't be any issues or anything with it, it's just how it was reported in the system. That brings me to, no, the training, travel, and meals. I printed that off as well. Again, 2 of them were for Shawn and traveling, and then one was to Arvest and was paid with credit card, and then it was for Shawn and traveling, so, that's why those are taken out. And the meeting location. When I opened that and looked, so they give us money to receive in for their payment. And, what's that, church? So, we let them know the bills that give us the money. The receipts and expenses were all used in this code. So, the receipts minus the expenses is what gives us the negative $131. So I don't know if I can go back and fix it to where it's like make a new revenue code specific to them so that it's separate and not being taken out of the same code.
So showing that they protected all.
Yes, it's just that the revenue from vendor money was repeated into it. And that's all I got as far as notes and stuff go.
That's the 1% of the water.
Which I wanted to, I don't know if any of you guys know or not, I'll ask him Susan about it. Is that correction through May? Do we know what that fixes up to?
That was, from my understanding, we'll have to check on the board, but I'm pretty sure that was 2024. I think it was November of 2024 until May or June.
It wasn't June because I had June. So I just wanted to make sure that we didn't miss any months, like, you know, in April, May, or anything like that.
We'll have, we can check the board. This thing is, I was reading, and this is the 1% line we had to move over, that's the blue one.
For the balance,
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was, when I went back and looked, I want to say it went from November of 2024 to April or May, whatever that was
Yeah.
actually.
So I guess now all we really need to do is get the budget numbers to correct where there's overdraws and things like that. I don't know if we want to do that now or wait until we come through everything.
well, that'll fall on mayor and council. We're gonna have resolutions to change.
Gotcha.
We can't, that'll just be part of
Oh, yes, okay, I don't know why it was separated out,
$225. It's the water bill, I don't know why it was separated out into the water sewer and not just taken out of just the utility one. But, after April, it was all being taken out of that,
it's 7900 utilities.
You're gonna expand your codes,
What do you mean?
make the numbers a little longer, so that you can properly put things in the place.
I honestly, I went to the AML website and printed out their, example code list, and ours are way longer than needed.
Really?
Yeah, so instead of specifically having, utilities broken out into all these different things, there would be one utility code, but we could have a department code. So, I'm trying to do this, to explain this. I don't know about the police budget and things like that, that is certainly have their own department code.
so utilities, if we just had one utility code in our system, we could just apply it to the police, we could just apply it to the fire, and when you run reports,
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean, so what is the code for what we're talking about?
We don't have a code system.
Yeah, it doesn't put them, for some reason, I'll try to go.
So let's just say the code for 8500 is the code, and then you'll have a separate code for fire, you'll have a separate 8500.
Yes.
And a separate code for police.
yeah,
Then you want a dash, there's a whole lot of codes.
my biggest concern has been reporting on this. And, you know, coming from the county, we had your fund code, like your fund number, your department code, and then your revenue expense code. And they were always put on reports, and this is one thing I'm not saying about these reports.
So you're 7,800. Just not the wrong code.
I don't know if it's something in our
On
system.
her end, in the system, it shows the codes. On this, it's.
Yeah.
Because last time, committee, that was one of our biggest things, when we were knocking out code, so it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I would want to be able to sit here and say, okay, hey, here's utilities. Out of law, it can be like city, water, sewer, police, fire.
That's what I'm used to.
Bouncing back. and
That's what
forth.
I'm used to at the county. It's like we had everybody that was in Fund 1000 would have their own department code, and then we just had one universal utilities code, you know, for example, and we would just apply it to the departments. I think that would clean up a lot.
Does anybody disagree with that?
And I can bring copies.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
When we get ready to start the budget period for 2027, I'll bring copies of those codes so that everybody has them. But I think it would clean up the budget a lot. Yes. Yes. And it's a compliance.
Yes.
Because they're going to start, you know, changing their codes, and pushing towards their examples. So we can really into these.
Okay, so since you brought that up, and we kind of went over one of the things that I had wrote down when we talked about is we now have a treasurer reporter, so we need to increase that line
Yes.
by that. So that needs to be taken from the same part with us getting our own court and being a standing report, are we covered with the budget that we currently have to do that, and we need to increase our funds?
For the treasurer reporter?
No, the report aspect. Now we have, I'm pretty sure we were already paying 100% of our report. I just want to make sure that there's no more hidden fees that, because we have our own department code for report, that we don't need to up that as well.
I don't think it should be any big difference, in what we're paying.
So, do you want to, since the treasurer recorder are now split, and the recorder is actually court work, do you want to just merge those two together?
I would keep them separate. I would keep them separate with the way things happen here.
It might not always be the same
Yeah,
person.
Right. Well, that's,
And then in like 2 years, we have another collection for the recorder anyways. So,
It might be better to just keep them separate. And that's something else, instead of having the expense codes broken out with salaries, I don't see why we don't make just a department code for the treasurer, or, the mayors, and the office manager would be able to run the mayor department code, because they work under the mayor. And then it would just leave us with the salary and wages. I hope that's making sense. It's just condensing things down. That's just how the process is. I'm just
I'm
trying to
perfectly
do
fine with that, but on salary and wages, if it's talking about just city personnel, if we can get a number beside it,
yeah, 7. And then this is what their total years are. And also, I think that applies well to some areas, and then some areas to transparency and being clear about exactly what is what and where, leaving them like that
Yeah.
has some inherent good to it.
Oh, I understand as well. I'm just trying to.
But like I said, I mean, that doesn't mean just because for this one particular thing, we can be one and we shouldn't be doing that.
Basically, you have to do that in events, and you need to expand all that, because you don't.
Exactly. When you click on these, does it show like all
So,
that?
yeah, so basically, I can click on the reimbursement code and it will look at everything.
So we do.
That way, if you need to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can call your mom.
No, she just started to come by to see me, so. All right, so that's what about the city general.
so which department is the page 101?
The non-department.
It says it right there, not.
Yeah, it's I ran so many reports every different which ways that I could try to pull in everything, and this is a non-departmental.
Do we have an idea of what's going on here?
We have not looked into them in detail yet. I didn't get the full budget up because there was no budget for it. So this is something that for the next meeting, we can,
Nope.
no, this isn't. So this would be something that we need to check on. I can almost guarantee it's just, no, I don't think it's more, I think it is,
20,000, but he wouldn't have been paid that quickly.
no, I think it's typos in data entry. But I will double check them and add it to you guys.
Let's just call this page an investigation.
Under investigation.
Once a year, January.
Well, with the way that we have our other reporting, this could just be a non-payer date. You know, we had 124,000 missing from all of the police. So this could just be an anomaly.
So, the next one I have is
Yep. Okay, quick question. I am jumping ahead, but it's glaring me right in the face as I look at this. Are these the same numbers? Okay. Alright, now, this sheet is monthly, right?
Yes, this is per month.
So it's a budget sheet.
Yeah.
Well, it's, the budget sheet should be year to date, January to August.
Oh, right.
So,
Is that $67 a month?
For runs due.
so, like, Danny's, for example, this should be all through January to August. So,
Do you use your days?
Were all the parts listed as one number in this other property insurance sheet, or are they all separate?
they're separate.
Oh, right there, yeah. I'm looking down here at this, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not looking at the top there.
So, you've got game user at $83 a month, dam site $139.10, ground fee is $67.95, point return is $23.40. So the numbers that we're seeing right here in this first code is what we paid out to date. And then the 700, like the ground fee is 700 for the year, not going 360, so we're 77%, which we're up to now.
We are, so, for 12 months, at $83, it's going to be $996. Is what that should be.
So why do we only have $83 a month in demand? On this sheet.
So this is just, this is what she does for her breakdown whenever she gets the bill and then she sends it to me for payment. So, this is just a breakdown of monthly. So like down here at the bottom, it says August 2026 payment on her spreadsheet. So it's not for the whole year, it's just for the month.
Yeah.
But the numbers should have been known
Right,
before the budget
right.
was
So, it was
created.
well.
But the numbers should have been known before the budget was set.
Well, it started with zero or slightly less than zero. And after several months, we were trying to,
We're not gonna lay blame, we're just gonna put the resolution instead of right.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Are all the other ones?
reject.
Like, they're pretty close.
Ground each is going to be for 12 months, 815.40. It looks like how many times? It's going to be 280, so that wasn't too far off.
What was the return?
It was 280.80. So that was only about $30 off.
Well, I'm starting to think that all our general was eating up everything. And we got $6,302 a month. About 75,000. 75,000 for insurance and building. Was that a different insurance?
For building land? No, this would be the same.
Because on general, you got insurance, building land, monthly.
It's the same, I think it is, it's a putting building land, they just broke it down
Okay.
so that the parts can be separated out. Because it's the same.
So down here, the Arkansas State Excise Tax, that is sales taxes that we pay on the dam site. That is a bill that we need to be using for it. There was like 3 or 4 different Arkansas taxpayer names in the vendor list, and some of them are, some of the things that are mixed up on them. I have separated it, specifically Arkansas State Excise Tax, the dam site, and the list that gets paid out of that line item. So we do need to adjust for that. I'll have to get a breakdown of what our average month is, so that we can accurate.
Which one?
It's gonna be the Arkansas State Excise Tax on the 36 average pay.
Is that the thing on how fourth book? How much money you make?
Good government right there.
So that's something I'll just break down enough so we can get an accurate idea of what to set for budget for that. Next one, so we can budget for that one.
Yeah, that's actually for our park program.
Yes, park, I think that's some of the notes.
That's the cell phone.
How much is that?
I'm not sure of the specific amount off the top of my head, but I can get that from when we go back over.
How much?
Yeah, it's not a whole lot, I would say it.
$7.26. And what?
I don't think that's right, I think it's like $30-something. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's higher than $7, I want to say it's in the 30s. I don't have everything in mind yet, I have to do it. I know, you understand our problem.
So where is that bill that we paid, if it's $30 a month, and we only pay $78.53?
I'm not sure, this is, again, this has a lot to do with, things being paid out of
Well,
not the right accounts.
from looking at the cell phone bills, I can see the 10, I just took the 78.53 divided by 8 months, or 981 to 982, and based off of what I've been seeing per line, that's about right.
I'll double check it, so we're in line, but
Yeah, well, this is, city rates really good deal. We have an exact municipal rent that we have to go through to get bonus and everything. It's really cheap. I was really impressed with how good prices they were. But okay, well, now I'm trying to go to the website.
we're going to need a budget for computer support services. I'm assuming this is on the computer that is in the dam site.
They should have a tablet there.
So why don't we just,
We have an iPad, I don't need.
yeah, let's just,
We couldn't handle what you guys had.
Okay. All right.
We just,
Okay.
it was big.
Okay. All right.
So,
Because I bought that for the park. So where did it go?
actually, this is the dam site.
I bought the tablet that went to Dave's side. I paid for that. I downloaded it.
there are a bunch of tablets here.
I mean, I don't care. I wanted to just be stuck in the book.
What is it?
I don't know. I was told to give him $89, and I gave him $89. That's it. That was my incentive, my excess.
There's,
I'm not complaining, man. Don't get me wrong. Okay, that's cool.
But we don't have any tablets to the service.
Dan site has its own department code, so this shouldn't be tied to one site for computer support services. Because this is other parts, would be anything else. But I'll do the breakdown on it.
You're saying the dam site has its own?
Yes, so, well, it's got its own department code, so it's got its own budget separate from these. So this one would be two with him, and he's trying to department with us.
That's what I figured, it's gonna be our booking.
Insurance, equal yearly. That was the one guy that had questions about.
That's in every department.
Yes,
Golf cart.
yes, specifically the golf cart.
As far as I know, we don't have a single parks specific vehicle.
Nope.
Not a single.
Park specific, all of us.
Yeah, it's higher than the city's insurances. Yeah, whatever it is.
But that's what I'm saying, there's got, I mean, I know that there's a park specific lawnmower, at least one. So,
It's not that, it's not insured for 267,000, 267. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's 630 against.
Whatever vehicle is getting insurance and parts is higher than what the city's insurance is about the general. The only thing we can is golf. Well, that should not be more than the city's.
Alright, so it's good. That's an investigation, move.
Again, the unlocking,
Reimbursement is likely me from our archery initiatives. That sounds about right. Where what was bought was new siding boards for the archery house, foam sealer. I think that's about it that I can recall. Because we have all the other incidentals, but the boards alone were $60 a crack, and the spray was whatever, somewhere in there. So that reimbursement is how much when I did not finish
so I see a budget for solid waste contract. But there's no money coming out of it, so that's.
Look at that, $1,500. That's
No,
not,
we
no,
haven't-
that's not how it works, right? We have room. I just did it.
And
There's only $1 in the capital improvement for that. Why?
It's like $300,000.
so there was never a budget set for supplies.
Well, come once a week.
But it's not.
But it doesn't start our meeting, and then it goes until next. We're all.
Yeah, we're just saying that there's nothing. It's being built out of the wrong part.
Yeah, somebody's over there calling.
Actually, the neighbors.
No.
Yeah, good day. I've gone to her mom before. Her mom knows me, man. We got something to do with it.
Tell her you're not dead in this bitch. Mine would be flipping out.
Oh, my mother would be 7 calls, 7, 8 calls, no call back. That's grounds for removal.
Mothers at work, family.
Hey, man. And mama would be calling like that. She said the phone.
We can leave the music and also find out if they're all parts.
Yes. Lynn, do you have any proposals with that, with how the management of the parks and the supplies we need for it? Would you prefer a dam site to be separate from? Now, do you want and you?
You know why I'm setting it up, don't you?
I'm good with it.
Because there are times when we're full, we need a whole lot
We need to
more
keep track of
than all
these.
these other cars.
Okay. So, combination of point return, ground speed, damage, or, and then, and, yeah. Just keep it.
It's like separate from all the other cars.
Yeah.
That way when we're back up and running, next year.
Next month, baby. Okay, so keep them separate. Alright.
And dance in the streets with anybody calls for the radio. What's that?
The Damn Jam radio advertising got sent out.
Now, what time? What do you think it was like? Hold on. It was like, what?
The Damn Jam radio advertisement got sent over today. I'm still waiting for the proof, but at the end of it, it says, and book your stay at Damn Site Park, receive 50% off your stay Friday and Saturday. Alright.
I hear it. People are so I'm like, no, yeah.
Alright.
They said they
What do you got? What do you got?
All right, does everybody have solid waste next?
Well, hang on. We already talked about these utilities and
Oh,
stick
we did. We did not. Scratch that.
Way under and way over our phone.
Yeah.
177, 179%.
I think,
It's 114%.
I think it's,
It's a no flush. It's a no flush toilet.
I think we're also getting our batteries.
Well, if someone's stealing water, then we need to put a lock on it, if that's the case.
Water.
Aren't there lots?
So it's utilities, water, sewer, water.
Yeah, right.
But what I'm saying is, if you want to know where the water sewer stopped being used, and instead of putting it in the water sewer, it was going out the actual utilities corresponding to the, instead of having one return around each and getting trees taken out of water sewer, it started being used.
I know. But judging by, I don't have the numbers from last year, but knowing that we had three or four of the people from last year, I find it hard to believe that they're going that far off the charts with our numbers. We're a $338 increase from what we had last year. When we heard doesn't make sense. That's too much money. That's too much money for. If that's the case, then our Browns Beach should be double what point return.
No, I think it's saying the revenue for, Brown Street and see how
You're talking about the previous thing?
no.
What return revenue is $825.10.
So I need to just get a printout showing a breakdown of what's written up in that.
Yeah. Investigation.
Investigation.
I mean, if you look at those totals right there, on the current year to date, versus if you were to take all of them out, we're not far off.
For which one are you?
So if you take all the utilities,
That, and for our current period,
for our current period, and you go back budget,
yeah.
and you get those two numbers, we're not far off. Like what she was saying, if they stop taking it out of this account, and start paying it out of these accounts, you very well see that all this money up that we're right around where we should be here today. So
I'll have to write reports.
this looks like $30,000 over, actually. You got 3,500 over here.
You're talking compared to our budget amount?
Yes. We're not far. So the budget's
The budget's 35, we're at 36, 33, 52, 133.
Oh. Alright.
we're not square, but we're not like that.
Yeah, because we can just take money from that water sewer line and divide it amongst buildings as well, if nothing else is coming out of it. All right, so that's the best we look to further in the. All right. Next, I have solid waste. They're looking pretty good, other than utilities. And supplies for the office supplies. Those are the only two that are either overdrawn or not on the budget.
Yeah, the operation is.
Doesn't have any.
Touch, so just grab the water right there, and it comes up, so.
Yep.
I'm just over there, I see.
So I guess I need you to break down what we have for utilities, so that we can have an accurate number for the next 45 minutes.
We can pause for just a second. This fund balance, where does that number come from? 'Cause I saw it on all these forms, they're all the same, but where is that number coming from?
So that where it says the new fund balance?
Correct.
That's the general fund. So, that was the solid waste, which would be taken out of the general side. But they have their own,
But if you look at it, so the general fund for,
They're all the same.
they're all the same. Every number is the exact same. So, and that's in,
That's because the way the reporting is done is all sent to one solid waste.
yes.
And if we go through this whole package, everyone needs to be tied to the exact same.
So they're all coming from that.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just a
From
breakdown.
the general fund, yes. This is that's something that I wanted to talk with CFA about, as well, because I did have similar thinking, and, that's kind of misleading, I guess.
yeah, well, I was trying to make numbers out of it when I was looking at this
Yeah.
stuff in homework, and I was like, I can't make it add up.
Hey, yeah, no, it's similar, like I said, I keep the reports on this thing. But I do want to sit with CSA and have them go over some of the budgeting stuff with me, and correct some things that need to be correct. And maybe, see if there's other ways that reports can be run that I'm not seeing, that maybe would make it a little better to read. Just that, yeah, reporting, I'm not looking at the reporting.
We should see about I mean, programs. Because this is.
So you can't build your own.
I've started really doing database. I'm hoping, I haven't been able to work on it, and it's been a busy week. But I'm hoping to be moving in 2027, starting. My goal is to get everything input, and then have them sit with me and go through it from the beginning and make sure that it's set up correctly.
So you can set your reports up however you want.
Well, yes and no.
So when I go to run this report right here, when it makes someone, the only thing that will pop up is that current period, that's it. Then I have to go find the little buttons on the side over here, and I have to click them, and I have to go down the little list, like, well, I need a little budget amount, I need a percentage, and like, adjust, play with the reporting that way, and it's such a hassle, in my opinion, it's way time consuming than you do.
I was just burn it out with a spreadsheet, I think this table.
Do what?
Just burn it out with a spreadsheet.
I-
Give it to the table.
I've been
What do you want to see
thinking
here,
about it.
slicer?
Yeah.
I think it's also important to remember she's working with a lot of backtracking and going forward. This isn't a linear process, so I'll be excited to see what you put together.
Yeah, because right now, I'm not having to go
Let's
back.
focus on fixing our resolutions for this year and getting this budget squared up, and then when we put the database together, we'll all be here to pick it
Okay, so, stopping the meetings. I think we're good to go.
Moving on.
Moving on, so solid waste, just those two things, I'll get right down to those for our meeting as well. Everything else looks good in my opinion.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going back, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. The computer support services that are in the very first page that we did, it was like $16,793.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this $330.76 on top of that, like in every one of these departments?
Some of the computer stuff does get separated out. I can get you a breakdown for our next meeting if you want me to,
Or is it 16,000 total, and then like,
No, that's 16,000.
solid waste has 330 of that, and, no.
This is separate.
330 on top of the 60,000, on top of whatever.
And my question would be, this might have to do with like our water systems that, because those all run on software too.
I'll make it.
So there could be, they had to call on the computer service to get.
I'll make a note to breakdown of it.
Like every department has a computer support service on top of their already.
I also almost wonder if at some point when they were calling CSA or telecom regarding what department involved, they were charging that time for that department. With this money.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So they called on behalf of the water and sewer issues and they charged it to that rather than just one city.
I'll bring you the breakdown.
Well, we have another computer software thing, for into that. And I know they get split between water, sewer, and solid waste.
So that,
Yeah.
So that's probably a good chunk. Yeah. But I'll get a breakdown of it and bring it to our next budget meeting, just so that we can kind of get an idea.
Alright. Do we want to break into this last two pages?
Yeah, I have street next. Public Works Director, so that was tomorrow. But I could have sworn there was an ordinance or a resolution that was set in salary, and I was in, it might have just been missed. So that's something we need to double check on. It probably just never, I guess I need to go back to the beginning of the year and look at all the ordinances and resolutions and make sure everything is going to be transferred. Again,
this is one that I definitely should know, and I wish our carryover.
Okay, you lost questions and highlighted on that.
Yeah, because
There's a lot of stuff that's not budgeted for, so.
Now, I don't know if maybe some other people here, were they counting on that from carryover of what we didn't spend for our state carryover, where we have to do our 10%? But that's a really big number for not having it.
yeah, as we're almost 9 months into the year.
Yeah. Now, my question is were they anticipating on there being a $67,000 surplus at the end of the year? But this shows we wouldn't have it. So that's a weird one.
Yeah. And then nothing else has a carryover of it, I don't think. It was just happening for someone else.
Even if I'm city for almost 40,000.
So a lot of that,
It's funny for me, because not yay.
I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of that is going to be data entry error.
Okay.
A lot of that is going to be using, that is,
So you don't think there's any chance that that 29,000 is carried into the carryover revenue?
No.
Okay.
I will run the numbers on that 29,000. But I'm pretty sure that's just, I think that's probably going to be kind of a big thing, source of revenue.
Part of the conference order was,
Why would you do that? The city sales tax.
That's been the main issue right now, it's just that.
Maybe, but then it's going way down.
Say it again, Marty.
I don't know.
Say it again.
The accounts receivable, or here, the carryover revenue. We had an ordinance before I even got that, which is a long time, that part of the city sales tax would go toward the streets. And they're trying to stay totally that money from an account that we possibly don't know about.
So sales tax,
Thanks, Chris. We're done.
city sales tax will be just going straight to the general fund. So there's an ordinance, that needs to be having that.
I can't explain what it really is, other than that makes more sense to me.
it's the only department that has an
Hey,
audit.
Marty, just so we have some years to look towards, what years do you think that was in, when you came in?
Let's see, Already came in at
Yeah, how
So 20, I think
was
it was
elected by the
20.
council to be the mayor.
That's 2010 to 2015.
There you go.
So we got a span there. Look at this, who would have thought?
That comes in handy.
Who would have thought? And we're doing that for the accounts, for the carryover?
Yes, I'm going to print out the accounts receivables and this is where it comes from that.
It could have been a little bit.
So, fuel reimbursement, some of the big oil bills were all paid out of the fuel line item. And some of, so then the police and the city and all them have to reimburse that. But I'm assuming that's what that is, it was put in as a revenue. Yeah.
So, street stays all people,
I haven't been doing that way. When I get the bill, I go in and I print out a check for streets, I print out a check for police, and do the double separate, so the prints have to be reimbursed.
So,
But that's why I'm almost guaranteed that's what that is.
so we're considering this a one-off situation?
I can pull up to double check it, but I'm pretty confident that that's what it is. It's just reimbursing back streets for when it was all out of their fund. I'm not sure
It's
about
like
that.
when sales is self-explanatory, we don't have anything budgeted for any of those.
They just never put revenue projection in.
Yeah,
They just never.
we didn't get that carryover.
Well, obviously, I have to
Now, we don't really know.
add, we're gonna have to add these in the budget this year for sure. These aren't minimal situations. Miscellaneous revenue, I like that one. We need more of those.
It's gotta be, it's explanation.
Something. That's not flat $1,000.
Right.
Alright, so workman's comp, What's the thoughts? We boost it up to 5,000 for next year?
I will, I'm like in the process of getting their form, so, I should be able to have numbers by the next budget meeting. And that will give us kind of more of an idea of what to budget for. It'll probably be close around 5,000. I don't see it.
We use that based off of how many employees we have.
Yes, but this is the big project that Tracy's been working on.
So, you can't necessarily say we won't see that one, but it depends on.
Yes, that's true, that's true. Well, that's what I'm saying, not one, but it shouldn't be.
Payroll taxes. Well, if you recall, we had some issues with payroll taxes, so I hate to give you another investigate there, but
Yes,
that
sir.
one's gonna have to get it. Have we received any more penalties or anything from that situation since we last spoke when we first started?
No, the only thing that we've gotten, I have to call them, is when we paid water sewer, I think it was on water sewer, we made a payment and discovered that our bank accounts were still set on, yes. So, went to go cancel the payment, wouldn't let me cancel the payment. So I didn't want to be late, I made another payment, because I knew that one wasn't going to go through. Made another payment the same day for the same amount, and they charged me a $30 penalty for that one payment not going
Is
through.
that when I came when we were on that at Arvin?
No.
Different time.
No, but, I have it on my list of calling it and explaining the situation. I don't think that is fair to charge for that when the payment was immediately made, so.
That's the same website, right? The only way to get the default payment changed is to delete the account and rebuild it.
Yes.
And they said, I don't know how many hours that will take to change. So,
Guys, I got about 10 minutes left of me on that call. Real dinner's calling. Real dinner is calling. I know you're interested nuts and apple crackers.
Health insurance, holiday pay, all that stuff looks good. Advertising, again, that's gonna have to be looked at. I'm assuming some of that probably is for positions in industrial and HMO.
Yeah.
if you look at it, was the big one I had, other than, well, computer support services. We have the equipment.
Are you animal control supplies in this?
Now, equipment might fall, wait, this is.
May have, but it's not in charge here.
Equipment might be, the, mulcher dudek and the, everything that goes down on the, come on, tell me, here.
Oh, exactly.
Background, wood chipper. Yeah, we did, because we had to pay to have it, parts.
And then it broke again.
When it first broke down.
Well, I know there was money that went, well, that would have been out of equipment. I would have been for maintenance. So,
I got nothing, man. I'm out.
so let me investigate one street.
Well, it's all right. We have to get through it. And that's the only way to do it. So, and we got a good team of people here.
And then fire prevention, and not right to that one.
We don't need fire. Fire prevention could have been when a certain citizen called the state on us and went down to the Public Works Department and found that all the work that was supposed to be done once the blue was mayor was in fact not done. And we had to buy fireproof cabinets, for all our flammable materials. There's a good strong possibility that's what that expired, because I know it was about $1,000
Yeah,
for
that's
that.
a nice one, that's a new box.
Well, former mayoral candidate had called. The lady came down and was like, yeah, this was all supposed to be done back when Mike was mayor, and that was one of the last things to know was all that. So I thought that, I'm willing to bet fire prevention is that cabinet.
Sounds about right.
The backside of the roof
Yeah, repair maintenance and all of that, guys.
I know that we had to pay out for something with backhoe, because I just did payments on those a couple weeks ago. Don't remember what unit number or anything like that. But it was the moving equipment, I didn't remember that much. So I'll just have to,
Okay, wait, let's restart that, what you just said.
okay.
Which payment was to the equipment?
So there's something that was done with insurance, and it was the difference of what insurance paid out and what was left over after insurance. I don't remember much more than that. I know it was for the backhoe.
We need to make it.
And that's the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head. That we repaired.
I don't think anything was wrong with that.
The door, something with the door.
No, I think the training is awesome.
And the other end of that is who the equipment school were doing that, who they were trying to get that.
Yeah.
And yet I don't ever remember any sort of anything being fixed or anything like that.
Interesting. Because I know the bills came with notice about it being for repair on the backhoe.
Yeah, you're gonna bring this in.
I'll just bring the folder with me on it.
If you're working on it tomorrow, for council is going to need to see some invoices like that.
I'll write it all that up.
Yeah, that's a little deeper investigation.
Now, supplies, operations.
You went and got them that good 4 or 5 photos, didn't you?
Not yet. Trying to.
What's but like the supplies for snow and ice removal, yeah, anything from out there. But I guess we didn't really have a lot of snow and ice this year.
And supposedly we had some back,
Yeah,
we had some stuff, leftover stuff, you know.
Side note, we should probably look into what we got. We should get
Also for the parks and the buildings. Don't we have a huge power line for lighting?
I just can't get insured yet, so we could only have the rest of it.
Right, but I mean, do they know about that to be able to use it for this?
I think just basically cleaning the bathrooms and pressure washing, the whole thing, the last time I was in, they were good.
Well, I just wanted Jamie to mention something to get it
it. And if you need
Yeah,
help,
that's what they try.
reach out.
And then he had four more, so then
Oh, I didn't think it better.
Yeah.
I
I was thinking the first one, like,
Trying to get the
I was told that, how?
Motion to adjourn?
I have a couple things. So, real quick. The verbiage gross profit, can that be removed? And the reason, you're making this public, right? So, the reason I say that is
yes, you may be a for-profit business, but do you want to portray that to the general public, that we are making this money? Because it's a redundancy.
Where
It
do you
says
see that,
that-
where do you see that?
Let's go to the very first page and under revenue. On the second page. Very.
Gotcha.
Gross profit.
Yeah,
That's a business term.
yes.
And just put it out there.
Yeah,
The
and,
general public, what you're profiting off of me? What do you recommend? Just strike it. And you've got revenue. It's-
yeah, I could do, you know, it's a duplicate.
I would recommend we strike that too, because you guys get.
I'll see
We
if
don't
I can
actually
get
have
it.
one, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
no.
you are going to.
Yeah.
I'll see when I
We're
can
going-
get it works.
Same time, he's basically saying, yeah, we're only going to make that one, yeah, or that two. Now, and what they go to talk about, that's going to go right over their head. But they're going to zero out of
Word profit. So, the other thing I was gonna ask was, how are you projecting your revenue? Is it total number year to date? And then we do that break it down monthly, or do we fluctuate
I
that?
could not tell you how it's done before. I just going based on county use 5 years of, 5 years history.
Right.
And
We
then,
talked about that.
yes, and then just kind of like try to pay attention to trends throughout the year.
So my point is your income's gonna fluctuate month to month, right?
Yes.
So it's easier to just flat line monthly. But the right way to do it is to
Pay attention to what's,
month
pay
to month.
attention
Because
to
you're gonna earn more money in the summer,
Yes.
because people coming to town.
Yes.
So I'm just throwing that out.
Yeah, no, 100%.
it wasn't done this way. It was flat.
Well, I mean, it's fine to do that as long as you're paying attention to what your monthly numbers are coming in. You know, pay attention to your state numbers and things like that. And I want to get, I've been working on a spreadsheet for projecting, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it, because again, the way these reports, you know, I'm used to where I can just export, and it feel nice and pretty. But yeah, I overall look at yearly, but also pay attention to what is coming in monthly.
Yeah, so the last thing I have is, we talked about consolidating and making, so on business P&L, you have your month, your budget for that month, and then the last year, line.
Yes.
And then you, on the other side of that, you have your year, cumulative budget.
Yes,
prior
let's
year.
have some of this, the last.
Yeah. I would suggest that we get a consolidated P&L and then these breakdowns in a general ledger.
Yes, I think we talked about that.
Government and. That's all I can say.
Okay.
I'll play around with reports. Yeah. Or I guess I could send you a screenshot of what the report options are, if you see something.
I guarantee you, we may not have it, here are the past 5 years of revenue that we sent to you guys. And
So
on a basis.
every year around October, the state sends out, well, I guess I should say the county, I don't know how the, I don't know how the municipality does, but the county, the Association of Arkansas County sends out their, projections for what year they're sending. So I would think that the municipal ones are actually similar.
Well, not only that, I bet we can not just get a projection, but we can get the action of what they said month by month every year.
I had access to all that,
Right.
yeah.
So if we have got that, we can go ahead and do the correct projection trends. That way we make sure we don't have anything else that we can negative.
Yes.
For payroll. Now, when we're talking about the payroll bill, one of the things that I think about the other day, that I'm talking about now is that could be 100% driven by grants in the bond, having to go to the payroll bill. That could be the reason for us having that actual payroll bill. Is because like, we had to take so much money from the water tower and had to go to payroll. So I could see us having to have that payroll company separate.
So, in the software, I can see, I can understand, but that's the point of the software, is having that, you know, you would have an account set up for the payroll with the information. As a county, for as many funds as we have one bank account. And everything is broken down and tracked in software. So, I understand why, I mean, it makes it easier for separate, you know, I just have 20 bank accounts, I have to write.
Well, I don't worry about 20 pages by any means. I'm just saying that I can understand how.
No, yeah, I get it.
But I think.
But it might be something that we can consolidate the actual bank account, you know, with the general, and then have it separated in the software, the tracking software. There's gonna be, we're gonna have to sit and have a powwow on how to, or I guess how we want things moving forward.
What we have to do is formulate a recommendation for the council as a committee. We can't just sit here and say this is what we're
Oh,
doing. I mean, I know you know that, but we also just can't show the council and go, hey, this is this is the kind of thing that we have to get down our table. Then we're moving a lot of money around. Even if we consolidate and do make it better, just we need to make sure, as we continuously learn through everything we do, we need to make sure we have resolutions for it, so we're not.
Yeah, and also that makes sense for us and people coming in line.
Well, what we need to be doing, especially in these meetings, is thinking, and Travis and I have been doing a lot of this in our office hours together, is what systems can we put in place now so that for the next 20 years, until some other knuckleheads decide they really want to step up and help the city, that they already have the basis and the tracking of everything that's happened. Because right now, what ends up happening is like what we just dealt with water when we had a legal project. Every administration, things get lost, fall through the cracks, and we needed, at this point, from right now through eternity, turn this into a systematic approach with everything put in place so that if anybody ever steps in who maybe has a bit of, or lack thereof, due to what elected a position, that all the systems are in place. If you deviate from this at all, you ruin the entire system.
Yes.
You know, we have to make it that synergistic throughout all of our accounts. Whatever we do now, we want to, in the back of our heads, this is for the next 15, 20 years. You know, but everything will change over a day. I mean, 10 years ago now, compared to what we're doing. So, but as long as we have now how we're doing it, why, you're doing great goods. But we just, that's my biggest thing is I want to make sure we're putting actual systems in so that someone drops dead or whatever, it's right there. Someone must walk in. You can pay someone. Thank you guys.
Yeah, I just wanted to verify that if you are the correct space, that this needs to go to. So, it said, it was immediate.